Hey,
Hey,
hey, we back.
Tracy here.
Trey G in the house. We back for our second episode. Second. See how she do me? Our second
Wait a minute.
episode. Now we gonna move past that. Don't do that. Don't do that. So we back for our second episode, and it has started off with a bang already. Yeah, we Trey G. Y'all know who we are now. Hey, shout out to Yolanda because she created Trey G.
I got two shout outs.
Okay.
One to Yolanda because Yolanda came up with the name Trey
G.
She came up with it. And then the second shout out is to Aunt Minnie.
Okay.
Because when I called her this morning, I had a great talk with her this morning. She was like, when y'all gonna do another one of those episodes?
Right.
We gonna do one. I was like, we got you, I mean. So listen, we fresh out of the gym. I'm looking at, I ain't even gonna show you down here. But we fresh out of the gym and we wanted to come in here and
get it in right fast.
Yeah, get it in right fast.
Before we get started, we had a big response to the first video, right?
We did.
And we want you guys to do us a favor now. We want you to subscribe. We want you to hit the notification bell and share it. Yeah. So you're on there. I can see how many people looked at the video. I can't tell who looked at the video, but I can see the numbers of it. So while you're on there, if you're on there being nosy, go ahead, hit the thumbs up, share, and hit the notification bell. So every time we post, you'll get a notification that we have a new episode up. Yeah. So, little mama, what's happening?
Everything.
How's your day been going?
It was good. I had a great day today.
All right.
I did. I had a great day.
Okay. I had a pretty decent day today myself, so you know.
Okay.
Doing what I do.
I was gonna stop by and see you today at the office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the cigar bar is his office, y'all.
Yeah, I get a lot of work done there, so don't play with me, cuz. Yeah, but that's a place of serenity. This is our office, as we told before, but I just don't like being in the house. I'm not a homebody.
No.
I am not a home person. That's one of the things that work for us too.
Yeah.
Right?
We like to be outside.
I absolutely abhor, I'm gonna use a Bible word. I abhor being in the house. I don't like it.
And I can tell.
You can tell.
I can tell. But that's what makes us great because together, that we fit together, because who get out in the snow? The people stay off the road.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but just to
I can't do boring.
Yeah,
I can't do boring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sedentary or just laying around. It's okay to rest.
Yeah.
You know, even God rested on the seventh day.
On the seventh.
Right? So we can rest.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm just not a couch potato.
Yeah. Right? And then when you get out, sometimes I get re-energized.
Yeah.
You know, going out in the sun,
fresh air,
seeing new things, but we have fun going to the grocery store though.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna make that an adventure.
We always gonna do something to make it an adventure. So let's see what we're gonna talk about tonight. We talk about our relationship, how we got together, timelines, expectations, my perspective versus your perspective. So that's all out there, and everybody loved that. So you know, ain't nothing like hearing it from the horse's mouth and taking the power from people that like to write their own narratives.
Right. Please don't write your own narrative. We gonna.
Boy, I almost hit
did
one.
You all
I almost had a praise break.
Praise him. We're fasting right now, so you can praise him.
You fasting. Me and probably about 20-something of my homies, we are praying for 21 days. We're on probably day 7, 8 now. What is today? So we actually on day 14, right? So so we doing we praying from 8. We praying at 8 a.m. and we praying at 8 p.m. So I mean, it's a cool thing to do because the discipline of doing it regularly, it have benefits, and they already showing. You know, this is our year of manifestation.
Yeah. And with that said, with the segue, you are proof of prayer works because you were, I didn't know with you, but This was one of my fasting prayers.
Okay.
From 3.5 years ago.
Before you met Boaz.
Lord
that's what
Jesus. Yeah, that's exactly what
Okay.
it was. But it works. I've been doing it for 17 years. Started off with Pastor Van with the Daniel fast. And I never stopped doing it, so it's good. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you be getting a little hungry. When you get a little hungry, you be a little.
I get angry.
You be a little.
So I'm in my second week, y'all. I'm in the second week. But those first 3 days, anybody that have ever worked with me, gone to church with me, or in my family, they already know when I'm fasting. Oh yeah, I'm a whole monster the first 3 days because of the caffeine. I like coffee. Not too big of a soda drinker, but it's hard coming off of that caffeine. It's hard.
But the reason why I'm laughing about that, because we talked about this, and we talked about what is the thing that you would have never figured out about me prior to knowing me just from like pictures and knowing me from a distance. And I said that I would have never, from your pictures and just what I perceived, knew that you could eat a hole in the side of a refrigerator. I did not. I would have never thought you was
I told you. I kept it real with you. I said, listen, dude, you rather clothe me than feed me.
You ain't lying to me. You ain't lying.
I ain't lied to you.
You ain't lying.
I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Yeah, I was thinking
So I told him, you guys, I said, listen, I'm keeping it real. You, what you just said?
I said, I'm thinking about getting a bridge card and getting on
said.
WIC. See, I can get some Similac or something.
Everybody got some food stuff something they want to sell.
Lord,
we're going to get some.
Need them. Because, little Bucky's over here. She's like the whole little Bucky's gas station. Give me everything in here. Baby, go in there and give me everything. Like, in Bucky's, I want one of everything. Like, okay.
You know we in the South. They don't know what we talking about.
Oh,
If you're not in the South, you just look up Bucky's.
Yeah.
And you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the things you should have. Our first date. Where did we go?
But everybody goes on to dinner on their first date.
But they don't eat like that on the first date.
You didn't. I mean, you ain't do nothing bad. We just yeah.
But yeah, but I
you're not a quantity eater. You just a continuous eater. Like you eat like what we gonna eat? We just left Wendy's. What we gonna eat when we get down the street? What we gonna eat when we get down the street? Nothing. I'm still eating my fries from Wendy's. So we joking. But
listen,
so what was the thing about me that you never would have thought?
Right, what I'm just doing. You could have never told me that you were so crazy.
Oh wow.
And silly. I didn't get any of that from the pictures. And those first 10, 11 days we talked, I saw the comedic side. But you're a whole comedian. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah, dude. You like in the gym tonight, he just stopped you guys. We were working out and he just stopped.
But I was listening to Pandora, Hezekiah Walker. So you had to that's what I was listening to. I know you was listening to Glorilla. You was listening. Yeah, I know what you was listening to, but I was listening to Hezekiah Walker on Pandora. That's what I was doing.
Well, I like a little glow.
I know you like glow.
My flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll say.
Yeah, for one song. All right, let's not push that.
Whatever.
No, anyway. So that I was silly, but friends, my people that are close to me know that. You know what I'm saying?
And now I know.
Now you know. Now you know.
So,
now you know. You ain't say that. Well, you already thought I was pretty smart, huh?
I thought you were smart. Yeah. I thought you looked intelligent.
Okay.
Yes, I got that part. I knew you were.
You just didn't
a nice
know the little
no.
Laurel and Hardy part.
Oh Lord, I did not know you were silly.
Yeah.
I laugh every day.
Yeah, I didn't know you were as silly as you are.
Yeah.
And people from a distance don't know that about us.
Yeah.
They probably think we
real serious.
Serious or Standoffish.
standoffish. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not though.
Not
Everybody know me. Know I'm a whole. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't play with people that I don't know. Don't play with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't just, you know what I'm saying? If I know you, we can play.
Yeah.
But don't just walk up to me playing like that dude did at Chase's that night, man. I'm going to slam that boy on his head out there playing with me like that. Don't play with me, cuz. But anyway, you know, we just being us, right? This is what it's going to be. So some of it's going to be, it's definitely unscripted. We don't know what we're going to talk about from one moment to the next.
Right.
We just doing what we do. When we start talking, we just start talking.
Absolutely.
So we be in the car. So what's so far? We approaching 2 years. What's your favorite memory of us right now? Do you have one? Or I mean, I know there's a lot of them.
Ooh, it's a lot of them. But you know what? Crazy as it sounds, I think it's the wedding.
Okay.
It's the wedding. It was the ride down to the wedding.
I can't say
we can't go. Yeah. Oh, you can.
I can't. Okay, we trying to keep this a PG conversation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead.
Well, yeah. So
Not really PG.
My favorite memory was the ride down to the wedding, because we got married the week that the airlines were going through all the difficulties, and I think most of the people, including ourselves, got Delta flights to our wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I've learned about my husband over these close to 2 years is that he's a planner. Mm-hmm. And so he gonna have plan A, B, and C. That he gonna have all of them. So about that money, he's like, babe, we can't not miss the wedding. What if we don't get on the flight? What if this doesn't happen? So I rented a minivan. I was like, minivan. But it was such a cool ride down.
Oh, yeah.
We played music, we laughed. I drove a little bit, you drove. And I just think us going to...
Go ahead, keep going.
Going down there, and I know it's on your mind, but anyway, we're going to keep this PG. On the way down there, we had a good time.
Right.
Just on the way down there. Right. And then a part of that memory was going back, because we were separated. We didn't stay together that night. And to see you and Mark and Pass and Caleb walking in the dark to the beach, waiting. That's my fondest memory of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it real.
Okay, what's your fondest memory?
I'm gonna keep it funky.
What is it? Keep it.
My favorite memory of us is, and I'm gonna keep it as so we don't get locked up, as clean as possible. So we sitting outside the wine loft when Tracy lived over the wine loft. Don't get nervous, babe. I got us. But she lived on First Avenue over the wine loft. Beautiful loft, great view of the city. So we would go downstairs, if Birmingham people know what the wine loft is. So we would go downstairs when the wine loft was closed and sit on their furniture out there like it was our patio.
It was my patio.
It was, okay. And one night we was out there having drinks, just out there, open container. We just out there having a situation. And she says,
a whole situation.
Babe, that looks like the police walking up down the street. I'm like, ain't no police. Don't nobody walk no beat no more. They don't do that anymore, right? So she waited about 30 seconds. It's like, babe, that the police coming. We got these open containers out here. They're going to do something to us.
And we weren't supposed to be sitting out there.
And we weren't supposed to be sitting out there. And people were breaking their cars, so that's why they were walking around trying to,
catch people breaking
their car. Have
the
police presence, a higher police presence, right? So we gathered up all our little wine bottles and all that. She said, listen, when we get to the corner, take off running. Boy, when I tell you I had a nice little buzz with that wine, and she had on a sundress and some Tory Burton flip-flops or some Gucci flip-flops or whatever, and all I could hear was running down the street, the flip-flops. Here's the moment where we're going to share this. So she had the sundress on. She ran so hard, the sundress came down. I'm telling.
And the girls were out.
Oh my God. So I'm looking at her and I'm crying laughing because she hauling, but like somebody is chasing us to rob us. Boy. So we get in there, and the long story short, I get on the elevator. I'm crying laughing from this ordeal. And I was like, I said, I'm going to marry you. And he was like, you going to marry me because we ran from the police? I said, yes.
And that's your fondest memory. Did some fun things.
That's my favorite memory.
Because you got a thug in your life.
Got a thug in your life. Yeah.
Well, that's a good.
I mean, that's just mine because you know what I'm saying. We have so many, but that's one of the most indelible moments that just was like, man, this woman crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Because again, I think you called me last time Barack and Tupac. I got both of those sides, I have to be with somebody that can go both ways, not just lethargic all the time, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, not always just turned up, but be able to you know, vacillate between two different places. So
yeah, it's nothing like being able to adapt to you know any situation. So we do that very well. So, but you know, we didn't do a whole bunch of stuff. I just thought that would be a better memory, but
no,
I'll take
I'm
that's
doing
your memory.
I ain't doing nothing.
Roll with it.
I ain't doing nothing for TV, for the camera.
Okay,
I'm gonna keep it funky. We said we're gonna keep it funky.
Roll with it, player.
Right.
You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good.
Oh God. All right, so this is a weird question, but it's just how do you think we've grown as a couple since because from our first date we've been together?
So I think that we're well-rounded in our relationship.
Okay.
But because we have been in prior relationships and even though we don't judge each other on what our past relationships were.
I mean, you kissed a lot of frogs, but you know, we ain't gonna.
Okay, what you're not gonna do is keep bringing it up. We've already talked about that. I'm just saying, don't be calling my folks no frogs. I can call them, but you can't call them.
They ain't no your folks.
No, they're not. You're right.
I'm just playing.
You're right. You're right. But no, I think the way that we have grown is, well, we really haven't had any arguments.
Right.
I think that we've had our first one from the first time that we kind of like had a disagreement. And so the first time that we had a disagreement was probably about 6 months in, almost to the date. I remember it.
Okay.
And so, and he was totally right about the conversation, and I was totally right about the conversation. And we were at dinner, and we kind of like bump heads, you know. And long story short, I've learned from my prior marriage, I had a lot of mouth. I think I said that before. And so I try to restrain myself until I can calm down before I just get to running off. And he wants to go through the whole conversation of, come on, let's talk it out, let's da. But I know in my head, once I get to going, you know, and it gets elevated, you know, I just don't want to say anything that would be wrong. And both of us was right. And to make you have an understanding of the conversation of the disagreement that we had is that I'm an alpha female, he's an alpha man, and I've had my independence for a long time, and I know how to take care of myself, you know. And so but he is the type that I want to be able, I'm the man and I'm going to take care of a situation. But I would never, I was trying to get the point across that I would never put you in a situation where you would have to do that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
I think sometimes women want them, you know, a man into a situation when she can control that environment, especially when you've been dating. You get what I'm saying? And you're coming to my city, and I may have dated someone in that city. You need to control that environment. So you were totally right, and I was totally wrong. But by the time we got home, y'all. Lord Jesus.
But what we never did was scream.
No, we never did.
You know.
But it was our first argument,
Right.
and we had just been so.
And it wasn't.
It wasn't an argument. I know you don't like me calling it saying an argument. It was just a disagreement.
Right.
And so, if anybody knows anything about me, when I get mad, I cry. You know, so I'm a little upset. I'm whatever. And so I'm a little upset and stuff. And so he's just trying to talk about it, and you know, he's trying to prove his point to me, and I'm trying to prove my point. And then I realized in the midst of it that, you know, it was the enemy coming into our relation, you know, in that conversation. So I was telling him, I said, you know what?
And let's define that more, because I think that's true, but it's so cliche. The devil did this, the enemy did that. Really, it's past traumas.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so let's define
that the devil used.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
We can co-sign
That the
him on
enemy
this.
used.
but it's past traumas that surface because they hadn't been dealt with. But I think that's one of the growing things.
Yeah.
For me personally, not so
Exactly.
much in our relationship, because you know you can come from environments that's very highly elevated or confrontational or aggressive and stuff like that, and you carry
absolutely. And I was saying, you don't have to do that with me.
Right.
So we finally, I was like, I tell you what, when we know that we're at a standoff, the best thing for us to do is just pray about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's immediately go in prayer, and that's what we did.
Right.
And so we've had some instances where similar to that, but not as in depth, you know, where now when we get to that point, we know how to go into prayer.
And everything, all misunderstandings are not bad. You need to have a misunderstanding sometime with your partner to understand how they perform or how they act in that situation.
Absolutely.
So if you just walk through life, and we've had a great relationship, no name calling, no elevated voices, none of that type of stuff, right? But still, how does this person act under duress?
That's right.
Right? So you kind of need those things to see, okay, this is how we're gonna best practices for settling issues and stuff like that. She's calm all the time, but does she nut up and crash out, you know, when she uncontrolled and all that? Does she start slinging slurs and name calling and all that stuff, right? So you need to see what you're dealing with, because we were 6 months in and we could have just pulled the plug.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right?
And that's what I was saying. I was like, I don't want to talk about it. And you were like, okay. I was like, I'm done with it. You were like, done with it? You know, I was like, yeah, I'm just done. Let me just gather my thoughts. But, prime example, you know, the other night, the way that you came in, and not that we had a disagreement, but I think with couples, and we'll say this, you have to deal with those past traumas. Whether they come from your childhood, whether they come from past relationships, because that person that you're entering, and I don't care if it's male to male, you know, female to female, platonic, romantic, whatever the relationship is, it needs to be a conversation. Right. And so I love...
Pin that right there, because I want to add an addendum to that. Before you move into any next relationship, please get counseling. You got to.
Sit down on somebody's couch.
Sit down. You got to talk to somebody.
Sit down on somebody's couch.
That was the most... I mean, I couldn't have moved on in my life without it.
Absolutely. Right. And I couldn't have either.
Yeah, I couldn't have either. I was like, you know, hey, I need to talk to somebody. And I fired the couch. I was like, hey, you sitting up here listening to my story. You're like, what happened next?
All right.
You're like, man, you say no.
That's another thing, too. You have to find a counselor that fits you. Right. You know, you may have to go through one or two or three, you know, because, and especially if you're in couples counseling. Right. Because you are still dealing with a human, whether they're a professional or not. Right. And so I've heard of couples coming out and saying, like, I felt like he was taking her side. I felt like you need someone that's neutral, that you feel that both of you.
And you have to be accountable for that. Because I've seen in scenarios where that's the cause because you didn't take my side.
Right?
Absolutely. So it's like, that person ain't no good counselor. No, they just said the same thing I said.
right.
Or they said the same thing about me that you said.
Right.
So now I need to demonize them and make their experience deplorable.
I just want to stop going to counseling.
Yeah.
Because now I'm hearing it for somewhere else.
Yeah.
For someone else.
Right. So
but,
you have to be open and ready to get what's wrong right.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's why I think we've grown. I love the fact that you covered me.
Okay.
You know, even just like Saturday night and us talking, we're fasting, and we can, you know, whenever you're fasting and it's not for everyone, or you're in prayer, or you're seeking whatever it is, and your body comes, you know, and your spirit comes, you can notice when triggers are happening. Right. Sometimes when you're moving so much, you can't really put your finger on it. But you know, after we sat down and you prayed and you covered me and we're in agreement, you know, it's just beautiful.
Right.
You know, now we've grown to where we know when to step in for one another.
And everybody, and this is not like a Christian program or nothing like that.
Not at all.
But the point of the matter is being, again, like we said, church babies and have the word in us. You know, that's when Satan tempted Christ. He took him up to the mountain. He said, I know you're hungry. Turn this bread into this rock into a bread. Right. I know you have power over life and death. Cast yourself off this mountain.
Well, I feel like that's what you're telling me.
Exactly.
Go on, eat it. Don't pay. I know you don't pay. You can get back to the box.
I seen some Pop-Top crumbs.
You a store right here. Hey, what? See how no, I have not broke my fast.
No, you haven't. You haven't. And that's really notable because you like food. Good Lord have mercy.
Ooh,
So here's a funny part. Here's a funny story. The other night I made a big pot of chili and boy, that thing, I put that chili in my bowl. She said, I'm going to go upstairs. I can't take it. I can't smell it. I don't want to see you eating it.
I couldn't.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's commendable that you you stick to it.
Yeah. Right. So, how do you think we've grown?
I think my answer was I kind of answered that. I don't know if it's so much we've grown because we came in just kind of having it right. Because it's not forced, right? I don't have to twist your arm to do anything that I like. You don't have to twist my arm to do anything you like. So we just flow, right? But personally, I've grown in just to be said as blunt as possible. I'm not triggered. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a triggered person. I've through therapy and prayer and time, right? I just don't have the same, inner workings or traumas or triggered traumas.
That's me because I'm cool.
You're cool like that. And again, that's important. So no, that's very important, right? Be with a woman, be with a man that don't get on your I almost cussed. Oh my God. I almost said a hard one too. Be with somebody that don't be on your mother loving nerves. Right? You know what I'm saying? That you ain't being like, I'm gonna even go to jail or hell because I can't take it. Right? So, that's an important thing. That was one of the key components for me, is that you brought me peace. Right?
And you brought me leadership.
Okay.
Because I was tired.
You was tired. I was tired, boss. Tell that dick boo get back to work. Like
I was tired. I don't want to leave. I mean, not that I'm not. What I wanted was, I just want to lay back and I'm a whole girl.
It's a soft girl life. It's all right being a girl. Okay. Right? It's responsibility to be a woman, and it's responsibility to be a man.
Yeah, right? I want to be the helpmate.
Yeah. I want to be
the helpmate. I want to be there to hold you up and all that.
And those songs say, move out of my way. Get out of my way. Let me do what I'm doing. We can't both stand up and use the bathroom. One of us gonna have to sit down.
Somebody gonna sit down.
Somebody got to sit down. Somebody got to stand up. But if you're used to standing up, then hey, one of us got to get a urinal up.
Speed on and get peed on.
Speed on before you get peed on. Get back before we get spit at. Right? So, you finna start cutting up.
Okay, no, I'm not.
Okay. So
nice.
What if we just took a trip? Where would be the funnest or the most explorative, adventurous place that you would want to go if we were going somewhere? I already know what my answer is.
Ooh, you got me. We know it's gonna be somewhere hot.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't have to be a be. I don't know. I still want to. I want to go to Africa.
Dang, dog, that's my answer.
For real.
That's my answer.
Yeah.
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 I think
we
South Africa maybe.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
my boy Derek and Monica lived over there, and he told me, dude, we here, we got the house. All you gotta do is get your flight.
Right.
You know, this, that, that. I missed the opportunity to go to South Africa, and
so
it would have been a real player-like situation.
Right.
They,
yeah. So Tamika and I were going in. It was 20. It was the summer of 20. I was doing two things. I was going to Panama with Jamie for her 40th.
Okay.
They had to cancel that.
Okay.
And to Tamika and I were going to Africa. It's just always been one of those things that I want to do. I want to go back to the motherland. Everybody that has experienced it said it was just life changing. So that's not that far out of reach, but that would be on my bucket list.
Yeah, they might keep you though.
But you know what?
What?
You think they got a new beach over there?
A new beach in Africa?
See.
They might.
I
mean, Africa, it ain't like the Kunta Kinte Africa. You know,
I can do the little stick with the flap and the all that. I can do that.
It ain't that. So yeah, I hear it's very, it ain't. Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do.
I'm
sure they do.
Now that would make me free.
Right.
Well, everybody know that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
You think they got one?
I'm pretty sure they do.
I heard nobody said nothing about that.
Well, I'm sure that's not the agenda of most people going to Africa to go walk butt naked in some sand. Speaking of that.
In the motherland.
Speaking of that.
What?
We go to the grill. Okay. We're going to keep it funky. I take Tracy to the grill for her birthday. She says, babe, this is a wonderful trip, but before we leave here, we have to go to hedonism. I say,
No, scratch that.
That's not how it went. Oh, okay.
That is not what I
All
said.
right, Tracy,
so let's dial it back. Now we're going to get a little personal.
Don't try to clean it up.
No. I'm not trying to clean it up. That's not how. I didn't say nothing because I do. Well, I said we are not going to hedonism. No, that's not what I said, Jordan. You're not.
Look, I'll tell the folks what you said.
What I said. So let me just say this about me. I love nudity. You know what I'm saying? I do. I'm serious.
Right.
I caught my dad skinny dipping. You know this story because I told you where it derived from. Caught him skinny dipping one night in our pool, and I don't know where my stepmom was. I don't know where everybody else was, but I tried it and I liked it. And I probably was in the 8th grade or something like that. So it was this
so the next night you snuck out and did it.
Yeah, I don't know where I don't know where they were, but I did it, and it was oh my God, it was a cool.
You're
feeling.
an earthy person, isn't
I am. I'm an earthy person. I'm serious. I'm an earthy person, and it has nothing to do with sexuality, which you learn.
So let's fast forward.
So anyway,
we get on this naked, totally nude beach, right? Now I'm a little threw off.
No. Let me go back up and we're going to tell it how it is.
Go ahead.
I go to the grill every 2 years. Every 2 years I try to go to Jamaica. I love Jamaica. And so George and I get to know each other, and I tell him about this, and I said, hey, I don't want to stay on the nude beach. I don't like to go to hedonism or anything like that. But I do like to go to the optional beach. So some things have changed because I hadn't gone the whole pandemic. So where we usually stay, you couldn't do that. And so we ended up having to go to the hotel where hedonism was to access the new beach.
The hotel is called hedonism.
Yeah. Well, that's where we had to go.
Oh, that's what
So we went, and I told her, I said, hey, we've enjoyed ourselves. We had a wonderful time. I said, but even if I just go for 2 hours so I can get rid of my suntans, my tan lines, let's go. And so we got there. We got on the beach. We went on the beach 3 minutes, and it took off.
I was like, well, wait a minute here.
And he was looking like, I was like, come on, let's find us a spot. But I look around and he's looking like, what in the? And I was like, okay.
What in the free will is going on?
And I'm just saying, Lord, just don't let him get scared. So we find this spot.
Oh, I wasn't finna get scared. Come on, don't play me
we
like
find
that.
a spot.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? We find a spot. It's by an older couple. They had to be in their 80s and stuff. And they're just chilling. Mm-hmm. And so we were right up under the tree. So I go in the water, and I've always told George, when I go, I love Jamaica because I go there, I pray, I wade the water. I just love it. It's beautiful. So he goes in, and he sits outside, and then I was just like, hey, the water is beautiful. You should come out. So he comes out with his trunk, and I'm not telling him to do that.
Before I do that, I'm looking around and I'm just smashing shots. Because I got to get my mind right. Because if somebody do something strange out here, I don't want to be butt naked wrestling with nobody. So I'm like, what? I don't know what's going on. Because somebody look at me and touch my woman, I don't know how to wrestle naked with a dude. So I'm like,
it wasn't that.
No, it wasn't. But I'm thinking that.
Probably about an hour in, I go back out in the water. And because he knows kind of like my prayer habits, he knows that I'm praying, and then that's when he sees me in my element. Because I'm at one with God, and I was like, babe, come on out. So I was like, just try it.
Okay.
Just take them off and just try it. They're not paying you any attention. This is not sexual. This is not anything. This dodo takes his trunks off and tie them around his leg. I was like,
I look like a stripper. You know how the stripper had the garter around her leg. I had my shorts tied around my leg. She was like, why you got them tied around your leg? I said, because anybody try something, I'm going to put them on. I'm going to be able to throw that.
Lord have mercy. But once we got out, now you got to admit, we got out and we prayed and you forgot you was out there. Because it was beautiful. And then
I turned into freak nigga.
Yeah, then it was time to go. It was time to go. You had got a little too comfortable. You had got a little comfortable. I was like, no, that ain't what that is. We headed out. But it was a beautiful experience.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
So that should have been your favorite memory.
No, it wasn't. You ain't gonna push my memory around. The memory I said was the memory I liked.
Your memory.
Yeah. But that was South Africa in general is like something we want to do. A close second is we said we want to do Tokyo.
Oh yeah, Tokyo for real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
definitely Tokyo, Africa, and that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love, and I want to go back to Milan.
You all right, big fella? You all right?
That's the shape.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
shape. Don't do that. That's my berry. Shake.
That's your vegan shake adage,
Yeah.
All right.
So what's the next thing?
That's cool.
We let all these folks know I'm gonna do this.
Hey, what you hiding? It's your world.
It is.
Hey.
Just don't come follow me to Jamaica. You ain't gonna see it.
Right.
That's what I do.
Right. Let's see.
Just sidebar there.
Okay.
Let me ask you something.
Okay.
When we get to heaven, who you want to talk to? Besides Lord and Jesus and all that.
Well,
like your two favorite people.
Because I know the Bible.
Who you want to talk to?
I ain't been talking to nobody. According to the word. I ain't walking around like what a Starbucks at up here. No, we get to heaven to worship God.
No, I'm saying,
that's some old fable. That's some old Fable talk. I ain't even playing that game. That's some Fable. I ain't
And I want to
about...
see Eve because I could have been walking around here naked. She beat the apple.
Let me see if I can take this part out.
No, cut it out. I just thought about that. I want to holler at her.
I'm just playing.
I want to holler at her.
I'm just playing.
Okay.
All right, here go a deep one.
Okay.
What are your biggest fears or fear when it comes to our relationship?
Not making you as happy as you make me. I think I've said that to you.
Oh, okay. It's like the old
I
interview answer you gave right there.
No, babe. It's like when you truly love someone and you know that they're a blessing. I'm just speaking on my end. I've half-assed some of my relationships. You know what I'm saying? Not feeling like I was giving my all.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And so...
Well, I don't think you can give your all in a misshapen or misaligned situation. Nobody can.
Yeah, but I could have did some stuff better.
Okay.
I could have did some stuff better. And so I think, I just always want this to be your peace. Mm-hmm. It's like the song that says, how do you keep the music playing? Mm-hmm. That's my biggest fear. Okay. And you know this, because I don't even like us to argue.
So that was a very, for TV answer. I think one of the things you expressed is that you thought I was too much of a freak, and you wasn't gonna be able to keep the freak level as freaky as I keep it.
I just tried to make that clean.
It ain't gonna, we ain't finna be on here clean. Again, I ain't finna do all that. I own my world. I own my life. I ain't gotta contour it for nobody.
Well, it ain't no freak level. It's your drive.
Okay.
It's your drive.
Talk about it then.
Yeah, it's
just, I'm still sitting on there like you Juanita Bynum. Shit. What? I mean, so with that.
Don't do it.
With that. Was that a fear? Was that
that was a fear. That was a fear because you're very physical. So let's break it down.
Come on then. Come on, stop acting like you sitting up here on the damn 700 Club or something.
Oh, whatever, dude. So let's break it down. Network. The reason why that fear is there is because of my molestation. Okay. And so and it happened in my childhood, of course, and from 8 to 12. Mm-hmm. And so even though I wasn't penetrated, mm-hmm. my innocence was taken. Absolutely. And so I was a late bloomer in that. Mm-hmm. And so I think the first person I ever told was Paul, and then mm-hmm. the second person I ever told was Carrie. Mm-hmm. And so, with that being said, I've had my challenges with that because it had insecurities. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, and most people don't know this about me, that person, as an 8-year-old girl, feeling, you are masturbating, violating, it just kind of shut me down. When I'm supposed to go into puberty and you are touching boys and they're touching you, mm-hmm. you know what I'm saying? It was a block there. Right. And so even though I kind of let all of the inhibitions that I had before mm-hmm. with you go, you know what I'm mm-hmm. saying, because of the patience and the honesty with me coming out and telling you that. Right. Sometimes my sex drive and my love language is touch. You mm-hmm. know what I'm saying? I like the foreplay and the getting ready. Yeah. Okay. And so when I first got together with you, even though we were having a good time, I was like, well, are we doing this? You know what I'm saying? Because we're in love with each other and we just can't keep our hands off. what happens when we get in a household together, because we were visiting each other. So it's easy to stay hot every weekend, and I know you're going to be gone 4 days, or but we were only apart maybe twice, since we've been dating. And so once we moved here, that was a fear of mine. Will that music stop playing? Will I be able to keep up with that? What were your expectations? And so, and so let's keep this part real.
Sure.
That's what the prayer was about on Saturday. That we sat down and we talked about it, and you knew that it was still something that's why therapy is so important.
Right.
When you're violated on any kind of level, even though outwardly I came across very strong and very confident, that little 8-year-old to 12-year-old girl jumps up.
Yeah. And things trigger.
And it triggers
and it. Was something
you
on TV that we were watching.
And it was just something on TV that we were watching triggered it. You get what I'm saying? And we were in a whole, I had my idea of it, and George had his idea of it, and we started to clash. But I wanted him to see that's what happened to me. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That was the grooming that happened to me. And what made the difference is that I knew my stepdad didn't do that, and I knew my dad didn't do that.
Right.
But we laugh at it, and this is why I love this man. We laugh at it because if that wouldn't have happened, I would have never known the Lord for I would have never known God for myself.
Right.
Because sitting up in church, I knew it wasn't but the Lord when I prayed about that as a 12-year-old little girl. Because I love going to this house, but I didn't want to put up with that no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the Lord gave me, hey, tell him that you're going to tell your mom and your dad. And it stopped instantly. You know what I'm saying? And it was 2 perpetrators that did it. And this guy had been doing it through the family, and we kept it secret.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We kept it secret in the family. You just swept stuff up under the rug.
Absolutely.
And so he damaged some people until it all came out.
Right.
And so just having you to cover me in my past and pray and my husband laying hands on me. Lord, help my wife to be delivered from this, all the remnants of it and the residue of it, because you carry the residue of it.
Absolutely.
And so that was a lot of where that mouth came from.
Defense.
In my 20s, in my, you know what I'm saying, or always being defensive, or just never really giving my all to someone. And so, and just getting into therapy and tackling
what's
that.
funny is that people probably thought you were a little sex kid.
Baby, and that was the furthest thing from my mind. I was like, listen.
Hit the road.
And what was so funny about it, I never felt pretty. You get what I'm saying? I was always taught with my grandmother and my mom, beauty is skin deep.
Sure.
My mom never really was into telling me, oh, you're pretty, and my dad, or anything like that. And then I didn't want to hear that from a man, because that's what he was telling me. You so pretty, you so da-da-da-da, you gonna be this. And I'm an 8-year-old girl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 12, until that 12. So I didn't want to hear that. So the first person that told me that I was pretty, you know what I'm saying, and that I truly believed that, it was Carrie.
Right.
Because I felt like Carrie was looking from the inside.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Not that he wasn't looking, then the first time in my life that I felt pretty was with you.
Yeah. And
you found that very surprising.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
and I understand it holistically, right? Because obviously you're a physically attractive woman. But for you not to walk in that, it actually makes it even nicer. Because most, you probably was a little firecracker when you was young. You knew you was a little hottie. But when you don't truly embrace it, because here's another thing that's funny, is that people would know this, is that you're a tomboy.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Just recently we was in Virginia. My boy Marcellus, shout out to Marcellus and Bridget and Johnny and all them in Virginia for the wonderful time we had there. But Marcellus has a pool table and ping pong table in his basement. So she's talking about you. What's up with that ping pong table? And I was like, man, you don't want nothing with me on that table.
Down Heights the gym.
She don't want nothing with me on that table. And we got over there on the ping pong table. You know, women, and this is not being chauvinistic, they say they can do something and they hit the ball like that. I volleyed a little bit with her. She was returning it. And I was like, wait a minute here. Whoa, wait a minute. And we started getting out there. People started looking like, da.
Well, you felt the same way we went to play pool the
When we
first
went to
night.
play pool, right?
Yeah.
We went to shoot pool. I'm like, let me do this little date thing. Go to the pool hall, and you know, I racked them. I broke. I shot a couple shots. It was her turn. She talking about 8-ball right corner, 7-ball right corner pocket. I was like, no, she couldn't be calling because most women just hit the ball toward that pocket and then go in back in. They'd be like, oh yeah, like you was shooting at that pocket right there. The ball that don't count, right? She's like 7-ball right corner pocket. I was like,
yeah.
What should I do here? Should I let her beat me because she's actually playing really well, right? Or should I just go ahead and just goddamn put it on her because I ain't gonna be able to live this down if she beat me in this game of pool.
Right.
But anyway, that's another thing that people probably wouldn't know is that, you know.
Because he almost, when I moved back here, he was like, okay, you're going to take off the baseball hat. That's where I'm
No, I like
most.
the baseball. I like you the baseball.
But you know, you was like, Tracy, come on now.
Now your poo shiesty, that's where we go. You gotta take the poo shiesty off. She be wearing a half ski mask. I be like, you don't take the half ski mask off because somebody gonna think we finna rob them.
But that's what makes it so good
Right.
with us because I was closer to age with my brothers. I spent a lot of time around my brothers.
Yeah.
Shout out to my brother. I grew up around boys. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's the side I think that most of the people that I've dated, you know what I'm saying?
Gravitated toward.
They gravitated to that.
Yeah.
It wasn't really never. I just was around a lot. I think Alabama has the most beautiful women, and so I just never was honed in into what I look like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's good because you were known to be one of the prettiest
but
girls.
I didn't see that, babe.
And that's fine.
Really
but that's what made it more consumable because, you know what I'm saying, you got this, obviously, God-blessed woman with looks that ain't like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? With your big
but I just
head.
wasn't raised that way. You know, my stepfather was Muslim, so he was into the holistic of the black woman. And my dad, you know, not that he made me feel pretty, but they just didn't harp on that. And about time I turned 18 and he had that hard conversation with me and he was just like, your looks when you step out of Birmingham is a dime a dozen. You know what I'm saying? You know, light eyes, that come, what are you going to have here?
Right.
So I always, you know, focused on, I wanted everyone to like me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I wanted to be able to fit in.
Right.
Because past, I think you're handsome. You know what I'm saying? I think you're a good looking man.
Right.
But I love your spirituality and your comedic and your intelligence.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
So
but I'll tell you this. This is your blessing to me, actually, that I was able to revitalize and live in my spirituality. Right? Because it can be doused when an environment does not have God conscious,
conducive to that,
a faith conscious, faith consciousness. So we basically, again, we so much alike, right? So down to the, all the way down, we're
to the hymns,
right to the hymns. Like, that, you know what I'm saying? So, I was able to walk back into that piece of having my faith restored to a place where what I was born and raised and studied and all that could come back up.
Right.
It was suppressed.
Right.
So, that's a huge benefit to my life. You know what I'm saying? And that's another calming feature that I have, that I can lean on the rock. I ain't gotta be like, all my life I had to fight.
I was just ignorant. You're an ignorant man.
I'll have to, that's the worst thing to have to do.
Oh yeah, the worst thing in life to have to do is not be your authentic self.
Absolutely.
I don't want to be in any relationship. You know what I'm saying? With my girlfriends, with someone I meet, my clients. Right. I just don't want to be in any environment that I can't be my true self.
Right.
That I can't let, who I really am come out. That don't mean that you got to show everything, show everybody everything about you. I know some people are going to be surprised, like, man, I never knew that about her. I never knew that she got molested. But my thing of it is, I use that to help someone else when God reveals that to be open. And I actually started talking about it in an open forum with Gary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Once he would go out in public speak and he would talk to these kids and then he would ask me to come along, I could see the spirit of molestation on some of the young ladies, especially out of the program that he was doing in Winona. I could see that on them. Yeah. And so I didn't go through these things in life to hold them to myself and not help someone else.
Right.
And I think that's another thing that both of us have in common. We are natural givers.
Right. And some people are not meant to share themselves with the world or with people.
Because it's a lot.
Right. So some people are not meant to do that.
Absolutely.
Some people are not, some people even in social media, I don't post on social media and I don't this and I don't that and I don't this. Well, okay, that's fine, but that maybe not be your mandate to the world or to your friend set or to whatever, right? That there's two words, introvert and extrovert. They're there for a reason.
Absolutely.
Right? There's some people that's overt and there's some people that's covert. Right? So, everybody ain't the same. This is our grace. This is our thing that we move in, that we don't mind talking, we don't mind sharing. And it ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
It is not. It's
not for everybody to do. So
it isn't. And that was a part of what I love about doing this is that after the first time that when we did the first one, we were like, how deep do we go? How much do we open ourselves up to people and, to have a conversation? Because I feel like you tell me this all the time, I've lived about 15 lives. Yeah. And I was on the phone with someone else last night and they were like, Tracy, man, I never do this, I never do that. And how are you so open about, what your life has been? Because I am so proud of where the Lord has brought me from, And so if I can tell someone something that's going to help them, I'm going to do it.
Right.
I'm going to do it.
Right. Yeah. This has been another great talk, another great episode, I think. Yeah.
Well, you got some pretty lips.
Do something. Do something.
Well, I'm trying not to be too something. So I am in the gym. I don't want to be too something, do something. I just want to do something.
Yeah, you ain't nowhere near no too something. We'd have ran to the gym from the house and ran back. I'd have been driving like our coach used to do us at Woodlawn. He'd be in the car driving with the windows up with the big gulps. Hurry up! All the way to the airport from Woodlawn.
Oh my God!
He just run
boy, if you don't, somebody from Woodlawn, you ain't got a lot of kids.
I get
Craig, you ain't got a lot of kids.
I get 15 people to tell you that. We used to run from Woodlawn to East Lake Park. Yes, sir.
That's a good one.
Hell yeah! I wish they had Uber back then. That nigga would have been mad at me because he would have been out of.
You would have cheated.
I'd have tried to, like in the military. When I was in Navy boot camp, they had us running around this parking lot, and it was a big van there. And my brain just worked like that. Every time we got that circle around that van, I stopped behind that van. I'm like, you ain't gonna run the hell out of me out here. When they come back around, I jump right back in line with them. And they was like, that was pretty smart. I was like,
I could not with you.
You ain't gonna run the hell out of me out here. I signed up for the Navy, not the Army. We wear white. I don't run. I don't need Run out here. What the hell is that? But anyway, man, this been another cool episode. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in.
Hey, don't forget to
subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can get notifications every time we pop on. Right? Hit the like button. Give it a thumbs up.
Tell them about Lulu.
I see all
they don't
she was asleep. Don't she? You wake her up.
Look at her. She's so crazy. She's so girl. If you don't sit your nappy head up here and let people think you no, because they was like, hey, where Lulu? There's Lulu. She's
waking up like she sleep. Like, what the hell? Get the lights out my face.
Tell them to subscribe, Lulu.
Yep, y'all subscribe. So, again, this is George and
Tracy.
And we out.
Tracy.
Tracy.